Time passing. Good. So on the last day, we learned about functions and what a function call is. A function is allowed for you to group a certain amount of code, and when you group that certain amount of code, you can call the function. So for example, over here, I have a function actually, this really not doing anything, not returning anything here. Later on, you're going to learn how what telling you is a lie. This is really a procedure if you go to view it in Pascal, but it's implemented as a function in Flowgridom. So if I go to view this function, I can quickly drop down and show the greet user function, and I can see that some stuff happening inside here. All of us some output going on. If I try to view the sum function, I would see it accepts 3 parameters of data type integer A, B, and C, and then afterwards we set up a result. We set the result to A plus B plus C, and then we return that result to the caller. So to make sense of what's going on here, I'm just going to run things. Let's go back to main. So this is our main program. I'm just going to go back here and start running step by step. Let me see if I can adjust the view to make that look a little bit better. I still need to click the step. Alright, so when we step, we're going to call the function greet user. When I step into it, we would see I am in greet user right now. I'm going to output Heyman to the screen. When I click next, it did output Heyman to the screen over here. If I click on next, we come to the end of the function. I click on next again. We outside of the function now. We're going to go into the next function call. Now, 2 things really happening over here, right? We asking Flowgridom, we're asking our compiler, we're asking our executable file to write some data to the screen. And what we're going to write is the result of our function. Alright? So we're going to output the result of the function called sum 1, 3, and 5. If I click on next, well, next step, I see I set up my integer results. The result is now going to be set to A plus B plus C. When I return that result to the function caller, which is really the output call, and we didn't see it, but it's because the output screen really in the back here. So we see that how 9 was output to the screen. Everybody okay with it so far, right? So this is a brief revision into what a function call really is, or what our function really is, or how we use our function. I'm going to go forward now, and to prevent myself from getting a little bit confused, I'm going to make sure and close this file, right? So that was my function demonstration. You see, wait, that cough going to get recorded. So this is just the demo for this class, right? Now I have something here I don't really care about. Right now I don't really care about showing you what happening on the in this code here. I'm just gonna run the program, and you're gonna see some results being output to the screen, right? And you're gonna see that how there's a list of feedback to the user. There was a function called hello world, and it has failed. And there's an error description. It's saying the function must return the text hello world. Are you seeing that? Good. So I'm just going to stop right there, and I'm just going to go straight into it. So I know that how I now need to deal with this function called hello world. So we're going to see what this what is required of us. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to look at the hello world function, right? And I see that there's a comment. This function should output the phrase hello world back to the caller. So I interrogate my function, I look at it, I see that, okay, cool, it returns a string result, and I'm guessing that how result must be set to hello world to pass that test. So if I double click over here, where we have the assignment, I'm going to set that to HELLO space WORLD, and I want to get as exact as I say it over here, hello world back to the caller. If I click on OK, and I run my program now, I will see that how I reached 20% completion before, because right now, hello world has passed. You see what? This is a scenario that Mr. Kunjviari actually setting up for you. It's not about defining nuances of programming. This is so like when you receive your next file to practice your programming, you know what to do. You just run the file, and you see the error messages. So right now, I see hello world has passed. I'm going to go on, and I see there's an sum has failed. So let me go and inspect my code. Now, if you're back on main, we don't really care what happened in main. You as students, you don't really care what happened in main. What you really care about is implementing the function. So at some point in time, sum should have been implemented, right? So I've seen right now, this function should return the sum of parameters A and B back to the caller. So I must return the sum of A and B. So right now I've seen how I have a real result, and I see that the result is being returned to the caller. Everybody with me on that? So we see now we have a real result, and that result is returned into the caller. Currently, it is set to return the initialized value of the variable. All right? I don't want to just return the initialized value of the variable. I want to modify the function in some way to achieve the result, and I need to achieve the result, the sum of a plus b. So I'm just going to use our assignment statement here, and I'm going to make sure that result is set to a plus b. And I'm going to click on OK, and looking like it's making sense. If I run my code now, I would see, let's go back up a little bit. Hello world has passed, summer has passed. So far, a little bit happy about the situation. I've seen that I reached 40% completion. 2 out of 5 of the tests pass. Alright? Now, even though you don't have to pay particular attention to the code that I write in the main, I just want to explain it a little bit for you. Alright? So you're not totally lost. If I go back to my main code, it has some setup in the beginning. I hate program for this because so this is my setup and test for sum. You go see that how I give the function a name, or I give them an array some data is a name, and I have a description for the test. Alright? And I see what test was running here. So for example, for sum, in this case, right, Mr. Conjurari was, well, I shouldn't say Mr. Conjurari, Flogorithm was checking to see if 16.1 is equal to the function called sum minus 5 comma minus 11.1. Now listen now over here. So it's just a simple thing, that's something calling calling this code, and then it's storing the veracity of that statement, whether it's true or false. That's all you need to know. So just in case you're a little bit confused, you can always come back to the outline or the test in the main code and see if it can add some context to your day. And if it don't add context to your day, of course, you can just come back and check me and see what's going on. So this is the real test. I wrote this this code called too hot. And when we talk about too hot here, we're talking about some sort of temperature function. So I'm gonna run it again. I'm gonna look at and see too hot exactly has failed, too hot less than 50 has failed, too hot above 50 has failed. Alright, so the last one I reached was sum has passed. So too hot above 50 has failed. So I'm gonna look for a function name what? Too hot. Alright, so looking at too hot here, and I see there is a common description telling me if the temperature is greater than 50, return the string yes, else return the string no. Now I'm going to purposefully fail at this just to demonstrate some stuff, and because I know I'm going to purposefully fail, and I tell all the fellas I'm going to move a little bit quicker than usual. So if the temperature is greater than 50, return the string yes, else return the string no. So I see I have some setup here. I have my string result, the result is returned to the caller, and right now the result is initialized to the empty string. So I'm going to go here. If it's too hot, if it's greater than 50, return the string yes. So if, where's the parameter? Temperature, T-E-M-P-E-R-A-T-U-R-E. Temperature is greater than or equal to 50. Then set the value to yes. So I'm going to assign the value to yes. I'm going to assign what to yes? Result to yes. Alright. So far, part are looking good, and you're going to notice right now, and this is what's happening in the real world, right? I didn't care about implementing the false part. I know that I'm in the middle of the thing, so I just going to see, okay, cool, I'm just going to run my test right now and see what happens, right? When I run my test, I expecting to see some things working, but I see that everything failed. Too hot above 50 has failed. Expected yes when called with 53.6. 53.6 is clearly greater than or equal to 50, right? Yes or no? Yes. Alright. But the caller expected yes when called 53.6. So let me see what sort of logical error is introduced here. Anybody seen the error? Yes, capital letters. It's actually expecting YES. And small things like this when you're coding is really cause you pain and suffering. So you had to be real procedural about how you're going about doing things. Pay attention to your approach. So I'm going to change this to yes. I'm going to click on OK. And I'm going to run it again. And hopefully I should see that how too hot above 50 has passed. So I see some has passed, too hot above 50 has passed. Now I see too hot less than 50 has failed. And we know why too hot less than 50 has failed, because we had not implemented what would happen when you're less than 50. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to implement a assignment statement. I'm going to set the result to no. No in capital letters, because you know what? We've been very meticulous about how we do things. If I run it now, I should be real happy. Too hot above 50 has passed. too hot, less than 50 has passed, too hot, exactly 50 has failed. And this is our next situation where I didn't pay attention to my problem statement, and this is a problem that I introduced to my own self. Too hot, exactly 50 has failed. Let me go and look back at the comment that's telling us what this function is supposed to do. If the temperature is greater than 50, return the string yes, capital yes, loud yes, yes, else return the string no. When the temperature is 50, is it too hot? No, it's not too hot. So my problem was another logical one, and a logical error is there's usually it still give you results, it just don't give you the right results. Alright? So what I'll do is just change it from greater than or equal to 50 to greater than 50. So if I go to run everything now, I should see too hot above 50 has passed, too hot less than 50 has passed, too hot exactly 50 has passed. All kind of thing pass. And I reach 100% completion, and I'm done. Alright, and I'm real happy. Well, I'm really happy, I mean. I guess you're going to be happy. I'm real happy that I learned something and I implement my functions and it worked, right? So for you now, this is how you're going to be using the test-driven development files that I will be sending to you via Edmodo. I have our next test-driven development file, and that is going to be your homework that you're going to accomplish on your own with little or no interaction from me. So I'll be posting both of these for all your fellas. You could go back over the same tutorial, and then there's a new file. I think it's about circles, right? Finding the area for a circle and finding all that fun stuff. So let's talk about some things. We talk about logical errors, right? Yes or no? What, anybody can tell me what's a logical error? It produces results, but it produces the wrong results. It doesn't follow the real world rules that you and I know, or the real world rules that we were supposed to implement. So that's a logical error. Anyone can tell me about a runtime error? For example, if you set your code and you try to make your code divide by 0, you would run into a divide by 0 or a runtime error. A runtime error only occurs during the live execution of a program, and it's similar to a glitch in a video game. And the last one is syntax error, and I can just demonstrate this here real quick. When you have an error in the language, so like if I had to add yes plus something, I substitute the ampersand. Nah, that would be a logical error. But in this case, if I try to use the Pascal version of doing this, if I just use the comma, it will tell me this expression contains a typo. This is an example of a syntax error when you just don't follow the rules. So syntax errors occur at compile time. Logic and runtime errors occur after that. They occur during the live execution of the program, and logic errors can occur to the point where the program could actually give results and not crash, but the user get wrong results. Everybody okay with that? Whew. We finished with the first part of the lesson. Let's press